Hi, welcome to Purana Talk.
Hi. Highly suspicious. Okay. Oh, we're not. Well, you don't know. Okay, this is Garuda Purana, Kanda 1, Chapter 236, titled just like the last one, Vedanta and Samkhya. Isn't that what they called the last one? Hey!
What?
We must be. All right.
Yeah, Vedanta and Samkhya.
Vedanta and Samkhya. So, the Lord said, oh, the Lord's here now. When did he get here? It was Sutta.
Yeah.
Okay. The Lord said, O Narada, I shall explain the knowledge of the soul in the proper perspective. Please listen. The advaita itself is called Samkhya, and yoga is the concentration on it. Advaita literally means the non-dual.
And the Lord in question, of course, is Vishnu, right?
Well, one assumes.
Yeah.
Those who are endowed with Advaita Yoga are released from the bondage. The karmas, results of action, whether past or beginning to fructify or those yet to come, become quelled through knowledge. He who has cut down the tree of worldly existence by the acts of right conception and has taken his plunge in the sacred river of jnana, knowledge, and vairagya, non-attachment, attains the status of Vishnu. Maya is called Tripura, inasmuch as the three states of waking, dreaming, and slumbering are brought about by Maya. This is included in the non-dual Brahman. 5. The great status of Brahman is free from name, form, and action. After creating the boundless universe, Ishvara entered it himself. I know this Purusha who is in the form of Chit, consciousness, and who is beyond darkness. I am he. This knowledge is conducive to salvation. There's no other means to that. Shravana, listening to noble tenets, presumably. Manana, deliberation, and dhyana, meditation, are the means of knowledge. Salvation cannot be secured through sacrifices, gifts, austerities, pilgrimages, and Vedic recitation. By some, dhyana is secured by renunciation, as by means of worship and sacred rites. In the case of others, Vedic injunctions are twofold. Do the rites, and renounce the rites in the Supreme Deity. Does that make any sense to you?
Well, maybe, don't get so attached to the method that you can't let go of it when the time comes. Something like that. Because there is this concept in these transcendentalist cultures, like Buddhism and Hinduism, that you can get so attached to your method that you will do the method even though it's not really getting you anywhere anymore. You need to let go of that method, use the next method to get to the next detachment or whatever it is. So I think it may be that.
Okay. 9. Sacrifices, etc., are not for the liberation of those who cherish no desire. They are for the sake of purification of the mind of those who are not liberated. This is what some say. Trying to stay out of trouble, having just, insulted lots of people. Some people say this. 10. Those who fancy a twofold existence cannot gain salvation in the course of a single life, even due to perfect knowledge. Those who err from yogic practices, or those who do not practice yoga properly, are born again as Brahmins in the families of yogins. Man is fettered through actions. He is saved from worldly existence through knowledge. One shall resort to the knowledge of the soul. What is opposed to this is ignorance. When all passions stationed in the heart leave one off, one becomes liberated, and undoubtedly even as one lives. 13. Since the soul is all pervasive, how can he go? Who is it that goes? Where does he go? Since he is unlimited, there is no place for him to go. How can there be any movement since he is disembodied? Since he is without a second, there is none for him to go to. Since he is knowledge itself, how can there be sluggishness? Others going or coming or standing is with someone in view. It is like the firmament, and hence its movement is like the movement of the firmament, i.e., it is stationary. It don't move. The three states of waking, dreaming, and slumbering are fancied through ignorance. The indivisible constituents of the individual soul are the very constituents of the universal soul. That is why each and every individual is attracted to his, her, or her own soul.
Narcissism, maybe?
Oh, Narada, that is why the mind of each and every individual is inclined towards his or her own self. It is the soul, not intellect, that passes through the four states of consciousness. It is the soul, not intellect, that being omniscient knows past, present, and future. If there were no soul in the body of a person, he would not feel the thrill of pleasure nor the pang of the pain in the different states of consciousness. It is the soul, the witness of all activities, which is truth, intelligence, eternal principle, not distinct from intellect, and which is bliss itself. 23-24. By knowing Brahman, one knows everything, just as on knowing a jar of clay, one knows all the jars, or on knowing gold, one knows all that is made of gold. But.
Yeah, I understand.
25-26. Just as in darkness, one cannot cognize the rope, similarly, through ignorance, we cannot perceive the soul. We superimpose a snake on it. What is in fact a rope? We superimpose the elements, ether, etc., on what is in reality the soul. This is used often in logic, in Hindu philosophy, is the idea that a rope can be misperceived to be a snake, and in fact it may be a deadly snake. Somebody might even die from thinking they've seen a snake, and they have a heart attack. And so, and there's a lot of mention of this little metaphor, I guess. Mm-hmm. Even the evident reality assumes a different form. The rope becomes a snake. The mother of pearls becomes silver. A deer cannot quench its thirst in the mirage. Similarly, a man cannot satisfy his desire by indulging in the false pleasures of the senses. So long a man has the sense of pleasure, he is called a possessor. But when possession is lost, he remains his true self. The individual soul associated with Maya identifies himself with the body, but when Maya withdraws, he realizes his reality as Brahman. Just as a noble person is not affected by the loss of possession, Similarly, the withdrawal of Maya does not affect a person who has realized self. Reality and illusion are both eternal, but reality is an unassailable truth, while illusion is a mirage. 33. Though declared to be unborn, he passes through a series of birth and death. Though one, he becomes many in the form of husband, wife, pleasure, universe, etc. 34, 35. The three gunas multiplied by 28 become 84, and these contribute to the formation of bodies, male and female, and the universe, with all its parts, names, forms, and actions, from beginningless time to the endless one. Mystifying.
Supposed to be. Well, I think they're just trying to remind you that you can't comprehend the one, but that is the goal, is to merge with the one, be back with the one.
36, 37. The existence of forms, names, etc. is assumed and not real, just as the chariot, etc., which exist in the state of dream, are not real. Similarly, things or objects which exist in the state of wakefulness do not exist in reality. By his association with Maya, born of ignorance, Brahma appears to be dual, while by the withdrawal of Maya through knowledge he remains non-dual. Thus the non-dual Brahman is as the refulgent sun, reality, truth, existence, knowledge. It is eternal, complete, inward bliss. As eternal, it is unborn. As non-doer, it is nectar. As the light of an earthen lamp, it is an inward light. The realization that the individual soul is identical with the Supreme Soul leads one to release.
So I think that conclusion tells us that I was right, that it's about this transcendental path
Yeah.
of becoming less and less attached to the stimulus of life, eventually letting go completely, even of the soul, merging with the one.